Welcome to Dynamite Delight. 5 days removed from Double or Nothing. Was it a good show? Yes. Did we get some good action? Yes. Did we get a little bit of blood? Yes. Did we get some new faces, which is the title of this video? Yes. But what we didn't get is several things, and one of them, obligatory, fuck AEW. No Eddie Edwards. No Moose. No Sami Callihan. No one other than Don. Sorry. We don't see anybody from Impact. I don't care if there's an agreement that Impact wanted this. I don't care. You're in a partnership. You should be seen on both shows to a certain extent. This is stupid. Now, let's move on. The first thing I want to talk about, and I got to get this done first. I don't want to wait. Because this is one of the things that went wrong with the show almost. We saw Bunny versus Red Velvet. Now, Bunny, we rarely see, other than what's been going on with the Matt Hardy brand and the Matt Hardy family. Well, the Matt Family Office. I don't like that title. Why did he call it the Matt, what is it? The Hardy Family Office or the Matt Family Office? I don't care. Either one. I hate it. It was better as the Hardy brand, because it made sense. Unless there's someone out there, another company that said, no. We have what's called the Hardy brand. You got to change it. If it's that, I understand. But if it's not, I never liked it. Then we got Red Velvet, which we've seen a lot of, which I like Red Velvet. Until this match where she almost broke her damn neck. Now, I'm hoping I can get the shot of this while I'm editing this, because I couldn't catch it. What? That's what I said. I was in shock. She dived off and almost did a Lita. She landed on almost her head. Or she almost jacked her neck on concrete. She went slightly past the mats where the barricade is, the moving barricade. Well, the guardrail actually. And she almost either jacked her neck or landed flat on her head. I think she almost did land on her head. She might have whacked herself here. And even Bunny turned over when she realized what happened and checked her. Because that was bad. It's one of the dangers of doing a suicide dive out of the damn ring. Now, was this a good match? It wasn't a bad match. I didn't hate the match. And Velvet won. But I think the reason why... Look, guys. Red Velvet is taking the place of Brandy in a sense, because every time when Cody has to do something that involves something special with some women, you have to have Red Velvet. Understandable. Cody's going to be a dad soon. Or he already is. I can't remember. I don't think she gave birth yet. But she can't be there. And it feels kind of strange that Red Velvet is tied to Cody's hip. Particularly with his match. And I'll get to that next. I don't agree with this. With Red Velvet being so connected to the... I think she needs to go off on her own. She does. Now, let's do this because I want to get this over with, because there were certain things I did not talk about with Double or Nothing because I didn't agree with them both. I am going to cover them here. And that is Cody and Lee Johnson versus QT Marshall and Ogogo. This... I didn't say anything about Cody and Ogogo's match or Lance Archer and Miro's match. Now, I'm going to talk about Miro next and what's going to happen with Evil Uno, and I will cover that. But here, I don't care about the match. I don't care. Even though Ogogo, and he's in my face, you see Ogogo knocking out Cody so QT can finally get one match over Cody finally. I didn't care about this match. You know why? You know why I didn't care? Because Ogogo should have knocked out Cody Rhodes at the pay-per-view. Why did Cody Rhodes have to win the match? Yes, I understand patriotism. Look, I'm proud to be an American, okay? I have some level, in, from my understanding, Native American blood. This is my country more than most. Yes, I'm part black. I am. My mother was black, mixed black. So I can say part of this country belongs to me as well, in the black part. But Native Americans had this before anybody else. And I can say, supposedly, I do have Cherokee blood. So this is my country more than anything. And Cherokees, like any Native American tribe, they are proud to be in this country and be not just tribally they're who they are, but as Americans. And I'm proud to have that little bit they were doing with the American Dream, Cody Rhodes. I had no problem with it. But I do have a problem that Cody being a face sucks. I'm sorry. In this situation, he should have not won at the pay-per-view. And him jobbing here doesn't make it right. A go-go who's supposed to mean something from the Nightmare Factory now turned to the factory for QT Marshall, who himself doesn't mean anything, made this worse. I'm sorry, I don't agree with it. Period. Now, let's do Miro. We found out because they had a Dark Order segment that Silver was, he wanted to do something. So he went to Tony Khan and he said, look, I want something done. I want to try and get the TNT title. And they said, okay, but you can't participate because your shoulder's still messed up. So he gave the opportunity to Evil Uno, which I have no problem. Either Evil Uno or Stu Grayson. I really believe with Evil Uno, it means the most if he won. Now, I know he won't. They're not going to let Miro job to Evil Uno. I know. But I'm just being honest here. Evil Uno, out of anybody out of Dark Order, would be the best person to win that title. Not 10, not Silver, not Grayson, not. I don't hate Colt Cabana, but he cannot do it because Evil Uno is the one who set up the Dark Order before Brody Lee came in. And he should be the one to win because he is now the leader of the Dark Order. But seeing this, which is going to be a good match, pisses me off about what happened at Double or Nothing. Because why would you put a monster in a Lance Archer against Miro within a week or two of him winning the damn title? This should have been saved for a couple of months build up because it was too rushed. You got two monsters that should not go at one another so quickly. Yes, this was a signature pay-per-view because they have fans back. I understood that. But this needed to be special and it didn't feel like it. Neither one of them. Lance Archer again should have not lost. He went up before with Cody. And he went up against Moxley. Moxley, he should not lost. And he did, and it hurt him. Anyone says it didn't, they're lying. Because all these months into the next year, he has done zero. Zero Lance Archer has done. He's been in a holding pattern for a year. It was stupid of him to lose to Moxley. And he's been in a holding pattern for a year. And anyone, and I've heard more than a few people say, this didn't hurt Lance Archer. Yes, it fucking did. You had a monster who's been neutered for months. And now again, Lance Archer is given the opportunity at the TNT title. He went up against Cody in the beginning of the year of 2019, 2020, and fine. But he didn't look good. And now again, he's up against Miro, who they finally decided to do something with. He's no longer with Sabian and Penelope Forbes. He's finally given something, and he should not be going up against a monster right now. It was wrong then. It is wrong now. Miro, yes, won, but it hurt Lance Archer, who's doing nothing. I'm just saying. Now, the opening. You got Phoenix getting taken out by the Bucks before the match started. They did exactly what they did to Moxley, who now is out. Probably due to the fact he's about to become a father. He might actually be hurt, but his wife is very near due right now. So if he's not hurt, he's staying home to be with his wife. Flat out, which I understand. Congratulations, Moxley. He deserves it. But he's out, and then Phoenix was taken out the same way that Moxley scripted or actually hurt because of the BTE. So we got a good match between Penta, Pac, and the Bucks, which in the end, Cutler saved the Bucks. He saved them. But do I care? When it comes down to it, I don't want to see Penta in a tag. I don't want to see Pac in a tag because I've already seen that already. I'd rather see Penta go after the TNT title or the world title now. I'd rather see Pac go after the TNT title or the world title. We need a change up. We do. And those two guys should be doing it. And they're not. They're tagging at this moment. And then, which makes it even more interesting, Eddie Kingston comes out to try and save them because they were getting their butts whooped. And they were pretty pissed, saying, "We don't trust you. What the hell are you doing here?" And he says simply, "The enemy of my enemy is my friend." You don't have Moxley with Kingston now because probably his wife, or maybe he did get actually hurt, and his wife is about to give birth. So he's got to team up with the Death Triangle. Working with the Death Triangle now. Which is not a bad thing, because Kingston can pull off being a heel or a face. He's that damn good. But that's just me. You guys tell me below. We got let me put it to you like this. Was Christian and Jungle Boy's match against Private Party good? It was okay. The thing that makes me so damn happy, Cassidy and Quinn finally got changing of clothes. Yes, they've been doing this before, but I didn't say it much. But seeing them with Matt change their personas more, and they're not like little kids acting like they're really playboys. Now they look the part. They're acting the part. Their charisma is different compared to House of Glory. And not taking away from their characters in House of Glory. That was the House of Glory characters, which worked great. But we were talking about AEW, and I said it for months, if you remember, that they needed a change. They need to change their ring attire. They need to change up how their characters worked a little bit, but the ring attire was the main thing for me personally. And finally, yes, it kind of looked generic. Generic Playboys, but at least it's different. Different. And that makes me happy. In the end, Jungle Boy and Christian won. And Matt lays out Christian after the match is over. Does this mean we're going to have Matt and Christian face one another? Yeah, we probably will. But where will it lead for Christian? Will it still lead to the World Championship or the TNT Championship? Honestly, I think eventually he's going for the TNT title first. I do not think he's going for the World first. I could be wrong. You guys tell me below. Allen and Sting had their moment because of the match that was at Double or Nothing, which was actually a very good match. But the thing that still gets me, why is Scorpio Sky working with Ethan Page? I understand that Scorpio Sky as a face sucked. It didn't work. But as a heel, he's not bad. But you're teaming him up with Ethan Page, who just came out of a tag match. Well, not tag. You see, this angers me. He just left the North. And now he's working again in a tag team because they have no idea what to do with Scorpio Sky. And they have nothing for Ethan Page. Yes, it is a good program between Sting and Allen. It's good. But it doesn't make me happy to see them like that. Now, you see Scorpio. They're really going there? I think that's the reason why I botched. You're trying to say Derbion has gotten as far as he has because of Sting. And if there's no Sting, you don't stand a chance. Why don't you get somebody who's not Sting? Team up with them. And let's see what happens. Really? The story they had before this wasn't 100% bad. You have Ethan Page having an issue with Darby Allin. Then you have Scorpio Sky trying to make his own legacy. But then they do this? I don't agree with it. You're actually trying to do dissension between Sting and Allin because Allin has been willing because of Sting? What has Sting done? He hasn't jumped into the ring or interfered. Honestly, It just, really? I'm just saying. Let's see here. What am I forgetting here? The new faces. First, we get Mark Henry coming out, who is now going to be working on Rampage. I'm fine with that. Hopefully, he's as good as Big Show on Elevation. I would have thought that Big Show would go to, well, think of it like this. If you got rid of Elevation and just put everyone on Rampage, it would make sense. You have Dark as the developmental. You got Rampage, that is the in-between where they give people a chance to really build up, and then you throw them onto the main show, Dynamite. That would work. But you got now Dark, Elevation, Rampage, and then Dynamite. What the hell is all this? It doesn't work. They got to get rid of Elevation or Dark. One of them's got to go. But that's just me. And you got a good showing from Mark Henry. He says, I'm not here to tear anything down. I'm here to bring things up. AEW doesn't need nothing. It's great as it is. And I'm just going to raise it even more. But then, before he got a chance to do anything more, Vicky Guerrero comes out. Seeing that made me go, what the hell is she doing out there? Is she going to work with Mark Henry? Because he did say, I'm not saying I'm not going to wrestle. I still got it in the tank, but it doesn't mean I'm going to right now. I just don't know. But she comes out, and she calls out, this man is in my face. Andrade Cien. Now it makes, I'm sure it's going to make a lot of people angry that Thea decided to go back to WWE when she could easily have been on AEW. I am definitely sure many people are angry that she decided to re-sign with WWE. If the rumors are true, she's in NXT right now, and she's going to be working, and no one is going to be happy about that. Particularly now Andrade Cien. Andrade, I can't remember his full name, but he is now on AEW TV. But he looked good. He spoke on his own, so he's been working on his English. And he made it very clear, I'm making AEW my bitch. I'm cool with that. I'm glad it happened. Now, question is going to be, are they going to book him right? That is the main question. But now we go to the Britt Baker celebration. And finally, we get to see Britt Baker rejoicing in her victory and now owning the women's division, as she said it herself. I am bringing it to not a new level, but a new era because of the new title. Let me put you like this, guys. There is no new era yet. Nope. Because we still have people that are supposedly from Japan that is still being booked by Kenny Omega. If the booking's still Kenny, and Kenny is not really seeing how to book the Japanese women like American women, and the American women to be booked better, we're not going to get anywhere yet. Because I'm going to hear people say, oh, they're still not there yet, but they're getting there. Honestly, as long as Kenny Omega is booking the women's division, they're going to have problems. And mind you, I'm not against Kenny Omega, and I'm definitely not against women who are from Japan. Female Japanese wrestlers. I think they're great, but they need to be booked properly, and they have not been booked. Now, who do you think is now facing a Britt Baker now? Because she made it very clear at first to everyone, I wanted to outdo when it comes to Jericho, because I'll get that next. I wanted to make sure I outdid him. So, I got coupons for burgers. Look under your chairs. Everyone didn't. They didn't see anything. So she lifts a napkin or whatever it was on the table and said, oh, they're right here because they belong to me. I earned them. And there's only two people I can think of that can eat them with me. And that is Rebel and that is Tony. Cool. Okay. So that means someone is going to get pissed off and then make something out of this. And I thought Sheeta was going to show up. No. It's Nia Rose. Let me let that sink in for a minute. Wasn't Statlander. It wasn't Statlander. It was not Jade Cargill. Nope. It wasn't King, because she came out with Red Velvet. Nope. Why? Look, I like Nyros. I think she's good. She's getting a lot better. But haven't we already gone down the road with Nyros more than once? Where are the other women? You're still using the same damn women. Look, you're not using Big Swole. Understandable. That cannot happen because they already did their business. So later, maybe at the end of the year or next year, you could actually do something, because you need to have a gap. But Nia Rose, instead of Statlander, Jade Cargill, Red Velvet, you could use Conchi. Where are all these other women that are supposedly on the roster that everyone says needs to be there, but you pick Nia Rose? Mind you, I'm not against it. She looked pretty damn good messing up the place, showing her ass and showing the boobs. I don't know if those are fake or did she actually grow them. But that's not here nor there. But the point is, I'm not against Nia Rose. But I am against that you say you're going to do something with the women, but you're still using the same damn women. Where are the other women you're going to use? You're supposed to have a whole bunch of women on Elevation or Dark that should be given the opportunity. You should be trying to book them, but you book, yes, a well-established talent, but a talent who's already gone through the ring already twice. I'm just saying. Now, the Inner Circle. We had a moment with the Inner Circle, bringing up Sammy Guevara, who saved the Inner Circle from being broken up. You got Santana speaking, who made it very clear before that match, you tried to pile drive me and my partner through tables out there in the stadium trying to end our careers and mess up our families. I don't take that. FTR, we're coming for you. Then you got Jake Hager, who said, and this was interesting, I am not done with you, Wardlow. Listen to me. I want a cage match. An MMA cage match. Really? An MMA cage match on... Here's the thing. If they did a real cage match, an honest one, a real one, that would be interesting. You could add in a little bit of real sports into Dynamite. But this is going to be a cage match that's going to be on Dynamite. Now, that's going to be certain criteria. That's going to be very interesting if they're going to make it look very realistic or not. Because TNA has done that with Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe. The question is going to be how far they're going to go with it. And can Wardlow pull it off? Because Jake Hager is an actual MMA fighter. He can easily be the way he is. He just got to hold back to make sure he doesn't really knock Wardlow out. Because he could probably knock his ass out. But the question is going to be how far they're going to go. And then Chris Jericho trying to sell the Blood and Guts incident. That's the best way to say it. Incident where he goes onto mats and plywood or cardboard that actually dislocated his shoulder or his elbow. But pretty much he tried to sell that and say, I am not done with you. I still have cold sweats because of what happened. I am not letting this end. I refuse to let this end, and it will not end until I say it ends. Until I know I have everything that I got. He sounded very aggressive, which was nice. He was very passionate, very aggressive. The question to me is this, and I said this on Double or Nothing. I'm surprised that the Inner Circle's still together. Because as far as I understand, Chris is supposed to go on tour eventually with Fonzie. They've been talking about this. The question's going to be, when? Will it be this year or next year? That's a big question. It wasn't bad. I enjoyed the segment and seeing how emotional Chris was. Now, the last thing I'm going to talk about will be the bull rope match. Not the Texas bull rope match, but a bull rope match. And to be honest, I forgot the difference between a regular bull rope match and a Texas bull rope match. It has been so long since I've seen a standard bull rope match because people like WWE or Impact Wrestling or anyone else usually does a Texas one. It's something you don't normally see all the time on regular TV. Yes, in the indies, but on regular TV, you don't normally see it. So I forgot, and I'm glad they said there's a difference. A Texas bull rope match, you got to touch all four corners. And a bull rope match is pin or submit. I'm just, oh, damn, I forgot. And it was Dustin Rhodes versus Colorado, who got bloody. Now, was it a good match? Wasn't bad. But here's the thing. After what happened with Cody and Lee Johnson, I knew Dustin was going to win because Cody jobbed there. If one brother wins, the other brother usually loses. That's how it normally is. And in the end, what did we get? We get eventually Colorado, who looked like a beast, finally get knocked out, and a friend of his from the factory not helping out, lose, and Dustin wins. This wasn't a bad show at all. I did enjoy it, but there was things in this show that pissed me off. Cody was the one that pissed my ass off the most. The thing that got me terrified was Red Velvet, and I hope I managed to get that shot of her planting her face literally almost either dead into that mat or just slightly past it. I went, oh, I hope she didn't get hurt. She jumped right up and I said, oh my gosh, I hope that girl's all right. She could have had a concussion even though she got up and acted normal. I just hope she's fine. But this was a good show, but I still got pissed. But guys, tell me below what you think. And tell me, did you enjoy the show or not? What did you think about Cody in this match compared to Double or Nothing, which I didn't say nothing about? What about Miro? Do you think that it was right that Lance Archer had to job to Miro like he had to job to Moxley and that he had to job to Cody? Well, did he job to Cody? I can't remember. I don't think he jobbed to Cody. I think Cody whooped his butt. No, I think Cody did win that match they had between each other. I do believe that. Because he didn't win the TNT title and he didn't win the world title either. So, that's just me. Peace.